Yeah, it's gonna be a quite even match. As you can see on the PB, it's only 20 seconds difference. In this game, that doesn't mean a lot. And I'm really interested to see who can pull off the better times today.
Yeah, for sure. PB can only tell so much. It gives you kind of an indication of how the players are going to do, but it's all determined by their performances starting now. We got race 1 underway. Everyone's favorite opponent, Lakitu, starting it off.
Seems like Shadow dropped it a little bit early there. And sadly for Paratroopa, Lakitu got the clear on that one. Did top off Lakitu. It should be good enough right now. Yeah, 28 seconds.
Yeah, so almost immediately Paratroopa coming on top, but Shadow manages to clean it up pretty well there. Had a lot of separated garbage and panels at the top. Lakitu didn't have near enough time to try to get to it, so we're going to be seeing that usual stalemate what we've seen at the beginning, because it's really hard to push to a very big lead, especially at this stage of the tournament, unless you get like one of the worst Lakitu trolls I've seen. I think I've heard stories of him pulling off 5 chains or something. I'm glad I've never seen that in my life.
No, same.
But look at this Shadow now. He's doing really, really well. Gets that 14-second on Bumpty. Catches him with that tall right pillar. Going to be taking the lead pretty early himself here. Paratroopa looks like he's going to clean it up, though.
Talking about big chains on early opponents, Lakitu just got a 4-chain right off a garbage block.
Is that what happened? I actually missed that.
Yeah, that actually happened.
Well, I didn't even know it, I swear. It was just talking about how it could be. But yeah, that's exactly Tetris attack, man. You gotta find ways to deal with that sometimes, because it definitely can waste a little bit of time here and there. But both players managing to deal with what's sent to them pretty well. It looks like Paratroopa is going to be a little bit short here to start on Poochie. But look, Shadow dealing with another tall tower on his opponent's screen. Going to get a pretty good kill at 31 seconds here. Paratroopa maybe with some time to try to catch up just a tad bit.
I mean, the game is not over until it's actually over. So, there's nothing to worry about yet for Paratroopa.
Of course. But it's always got to be in the back of your mind, because we've seen plenty of comebacks, but we've seen people jump off to these one-stage leads too, and sometimes it's stayed consistent throughout. Because a lot of times, especially like we mentioned with main bracket, these guys are pretty consistent. One fight can throw you out of that consistency range, because then you got someone who's like aiming and getting sub 30-second fights all the time, kind of like Shadow right here, gonna put a 28 on the board. And it's really hard for Paratroopa to claw back at sometimes. But then again, the cave's always at the end of the match, so who knows?
Yeah, you never know what might happen in the cave. Either way, we haven't heard any prediction of you yet so far. So...
Oh, man. I don't know if it can be too accurate, since it's late into the match right now, and it can skew a little bit of views statistically. But regardless, it is pretty even right now, and this is one that's really hard for me to predict. I think Shadow, with his experience, is probably a little bit of the favorite, but Paratroopa's putting in work, and this would be one of the times that I would say a 3-2 prediction, and I gotta give it to Shadow, man. He's been on the grind as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. Shadow is an overall really good player, and he also is really consistent for what I've seen from him. But then again, if Paratroopa managed to get the same game going as he had against Cards, he might be able to take it though.
Yeah, for sure. I remember that set, he almost won race number 1. Was kind of outclassed in the later 2, but he was still getting really consistent times. Because just because you get beat by Cards doesn't mean you have bad runs. So let's see if Paratroopa can emulate that a little bit here. But it seems like the lead's just growing ever so slightly bigger for Shadow right now. Almost that full stage, as you can see.
Also, did you notice that Paratroopa actually changed to Bumpty already? As character? That's an interesting strat.
For sure. I mean, some people have some character preferences. We've seen it in this game throughout the tournament. We see in Puzzle League as well, even though you can only have the selection of 3 there. But yeah, finishing about the same time, but Shadow still gaining a little bit there. So full stage lead right now. We're going to need that Bumpty pick from Paratroopa to be pretty strong.
It's all the RNG manip for the cave. Mark my words.
Alright, so Paratroopa finds that 5 combo immediately here. He raises stack a good amount, gets that lag chain with the 6. This could have been enough if Lungefish didn't even out his stack and had a low amount of rows of panels, but I like the way Paratroopa was thinking there. Meanwhile, pretty big chain on Shadow's end. It's going to produce a little bit of shake time here as Raphael is down stacking. 3 chain as well, going to give a little bit of stop time. Maybe be able to get the kill? Yep, there it is.
Yeah, not bad. Sub 6 cave is definitely something you want to aim for.
Yeah, for sure. He's been on a pretty good pace. And I mean, Paratroopa has as well, just being held up every once in a while, kind of like on Lungefish here. I've been kind of paying attention to his screen more, but it kind of just goes under the radar that Shadow, I would say he's one of the most consistent players. He doesn't pull out the fastest times that you see from our top players, but man, he presets up his chains pretty well most of the time, and he can get these like sub 30-second kills, which will lead to, you know, consistent low 9-minute times or even high 8-minute times if he's on it. His PB being A45, so there's a potential for him to pull out a PB here.
Sadly, there, all the shake for Hookbill gave him the opportunity to clear his garbage there.
Ooh, almost a sync kill once again. This time it's going to benefit a little bit of Paratroopa because he's gaining a lot of time back from that last fight, and a 25-second is very good on Raphael. Paratroopa had a very good amount of like layered garbage on top to give a little bit of shake. That last chain he sent at the end scared me a little bit, but Raphael wasn't able to react quick enough. And so now he's keeping himself in this race. But like I mentioned before, we see a lot of this consistent one-stage lead. And with Shadow only 3 stages left in his game, it would take a monumental mess up, but I guess that's what
Just
he needs.
like this?
Oh my
wow.
goodness.
I mean, as far as it's going now, picking Bumpty for Paratroopa worked out. Picking Bumpty for Shadow, on the other hand.
Oh, he did!
Yes! They both went for Bumpty.
So now we're going to have a Blog versus Bumpty match right now, and we are dead tied, dude. This is screen for screen.
Lark is my boy, though.
Dude, you always know you're in for a good match when it's like completely tied this late into the match. Oh, you hate to see deaths like that though, because Shadow was having a pretty good run, and even though it was only 17 seconds in, you lose a lot of time, possibly some momentum too, and it looks like Paratroopa is now going to take the lead because of it.
Well, not by much though. It's only a couple of seconds.
Oh, yeah, this is where the AI is going to decide this game, man. We've seen plenty of Kamix that have been going 1+ minutes or 3.5 minutes for my dear friend SK Peter. Sorry. But
oh, no.
Bowser as well.
Don't start about Kamek.
The point being, both of these guys can do a lot to mess up your run right now, and hopefully we can see both get past it. Paratroopa with the quick garbage send, but Kamek's going to be able to find the chain there. And look at this, a pretty good setup on Shadows as well. I don't know what his follow-up here, but if it's a lot of small combo garbage blocks, we'll see as it falls. Scrambling for clears, but finds a chain as well on Shadow's sign. Still going to go for the down stack, and that's going to be it at 32 seconds.
Was a kill. Meanwhile, it seems like Paratroopa's Kamek is going ham a little bit, but there's the kill as well. Nothing is decided yet.
Yeah, for sure. Paratroopa only going to be down by a few number of seconds heading here in Bowser, and with how RNG this boss can be, It is anyone's game right now. We're gonna have to pay attention how they start, and Shadow's already like screwing up a little bit here. He's got to find this follow-up pretty quick, or else Paratroopa could be in a very advantageous spot. I would say that was a pretty good follow-up, though. He found some appropriate chains, gets the 6th chain. Is it going to be enough to top off Bowser, though? That's the question.
And if it's enough to top off, is it enough to just beat him, or will Bowser keep comboing like mad? This actually looks really good for Shadow, though.
If he's able to drop it... Oh, the second tier gonna bail out. He's still in a good spot, but Paratroopa actually gets the kill there right before possibly Shadow almost got it. But
I wasn't even paying attention to that. What?
I wasn't.
Happened?
I saw Paratroopa. He was a little bit sluggish with the chain at the beginning. It wasn't topped off, and I was thinking Shadow was in the right moment to win this, but that little bit of a follow-up caught Bowser off guard, and he wasn't able to downstack. And Paratroopa taking game 1 as Bowser still trolling Shadow here at the end. Wow, dude.
Chains, man.
Bowser fooled both of us there, Wiki, dude. We didn't know that death was coming.
I need to look back to that to see what actually happened on Paratroopa's stream. I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it's just Bowser giving up, man. Trying to go for some downstacking that he definitely didn't have enough time for. But, wow, really good race to start off here. That was so back and forth at the end there. I think Paratroopa took the lead going into Kamek. Shadow took it back into Bowser, and then Paratroopa ended up finishing first.
Yeah, I feel like Shadow is probably feeling really bad that he died to, I believe it was Naval.
Oh, yeah, you gotta think.
Yeah.
It was, what, a 20 or 30 second gap of the finish at the end. He died about, it was like 20 seconds in, and you got to factor in the restart time from trying to get back in the stage again. That could have made all the difference there, though you can't say for sure what his RNG would have been afterward, but that was definitely a momentum killer for him.
That was the turning point of this race, at least, because at that point when Shadow died, they basically evened out at that point. So I hope for Shadow that's not gonna crawl up into his mind.
Yeah, I hope so as well. But Shadow, he's had plenty of tournament experience as well. He joined the first iteration of the specific tournament and joined the Pokemon Puzzle League tournament last year. So if he's able to keep his mind clear, he's had some pretty good finishes at both of those tournaments too. So I have some high hopes for him to try to tie this series back up. But we are on to race 2 now. So far, we got Paratroopa starting out with the massive chain, almost sometimes necessary in Lakitu if you can't find the appropriate combos. But because of that Shadow, he just kind of sprinkled a little bit more. Going to come on top just by a little bit here. Not going to mean too much, but glad to see Lakitu didn't give troubles for either competitors right now.
Yeah, it always feels good to have like a sub 20 Lakitu, even though it's the first opponent. You want to get a good time out of that, and it doesn't always work.
Shadow going with a bigger chain this time compared to Paratroopa, who kind of sprinkles off a smaller chain, so we're going to see a little bit of a reverse effect. The Shadow's got to send a little bit more to top off. This should be enough. Bumpty not going to have enough time there, so immediate lead changes right off the bat here. Very similar to last game, I believe.
Once again, Paratroopa straight going for Bumpty.
Must be his good luck charm, dude.
It did work out in the first match, so
that's true,
I can't blame him for that. No.
You know what they say, don't fix what isn't broken. And so far, if he manages to keep up with it, might as well rock Bumpty forever. We saw it didn't work out for Shadow, though, as he did take that death, unfortunately, so. But here we go, another lead change once again. Shadow going to be on top of this race, or this stage, rather. Paratroopa's got to find that little bit of a follow-up. It's going to drop in enough time. Is anything going to line up? Nope. Poochie, a little bit too slow on dropping. Yeah, here's the consistency I love to see from Shadow. And he's being a little bit more conservative, too. I think he opted for, like, probably a little bit longer chains in group stage, but he's been doing a very good job cutting them off. That could have been scary if Wiggler went to stack lowering mode, but I think he realized he had a good shot to try to get that kill. But look at this. Paratroopa dropping it off very, very early there. Appropriate garbage or combo garbage follow-up afterward. Make him back a little bit of time, but we don't have that consistent lead swap for each stage. But it's pretty much swinging momentum back and forth after each stage here.
Yeah, and there it seemed like Shadow dropped his chain a little bit too early there, but his follow-up is well enough to take the kill regardless. 22 seconds is not bad at all.
Yeah, 22 seconds. Keeping a very, very good pace here at the beginning. And Froggy able to find this clear in Paratroopa, so it literally has been back and forth. Shadow has finished first, I think, on all the odd number stages, and Paratroopa's done all the even number stages right now.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. It's definitely back and forth.
Just Paratroopa wasn't able to take the lead after stage 4, despite the faster time. There could be a chance here, because now, look, Shadow struggling on the stage at the beginning here. Gonna follow the 5 chain that might drop a little too late. Going to give Blarg just enough time. Yeah, if he would have been able to drop that a little bit quicker, maybe able to get this kill. Instead, Blarg's gonna keep trolling for a little bit, do some down stacking. Not able to find the clear, but look, Blarg, huge stack on Paratroopa's side. And the streak's staying even right now. Even and odd is the battle.
Then it just depends on how much time one saves over another every stage.
I think like patterns like that can develop just because of your mental game as well, because it can really be stage by stage in this game where you like kind of screw up and then you get more into a focus mode. And then you kind of let your guard down a little bit, get kind of a worse stage, and it just goes back and forth. Like, I don't know, your strats can change mid-game as well. And look, Shadow coming on top with a faster time this time.
Yeah, it was a frame-perfect kill, and if he had one more frame, the purple would have actually dropped and would have made not a clear on the garbage, but would have made a clear on the panels. Which would have given him a little bit more time there. But that was a bit fortunate for Shadow there.
Paratroopa following up with this 43-second, going to stay within striking distance, as we saw that lead Shadow had all of last race. Definitely was not safe at the end, as Paratroopa pulled off a very nice Bowser. And we'll see this stage going a little bit long. There's going to be a chain lined up on Shadow's side too, so Raphael just trying to stay alive, and there's the 4 combo. Wiki, I think Paratroopa might get a faster stage 8.
It might be possible, you never know.
I don't know though. Me opening my mouth, I tend to curse people a lot, and he did not have Raphael topped off immediately. There's not going to be any sin coming out, but there's still a chance here. This garbage now dropping into place, and look at this, Raphael using basically all of his panels there at the bottom. Ooh, what did Shadow finish with, out of curiosity? I forget.
43 seconds.
Oh, okay, so the streak is now broken.
And Raphael trolling a little bit with getting a 3 chain there.
Yeah, this is the biggest lead of this current race so far. Shadow looking pretty good so far in Hook Bill. Couple unfortunate clears. That's going to take a while here. Unless he goes up to second tier, which, what do you know?
Of course.
Shadow has sent plenty of garbage. This should keep him topped off for a while. He's only got those greens left. There's no way those are going to clear. But, oh, he's actually 1 line short, but this raise ain't going to do him any favors.
No. 47 seconds.
So yeah,
let's see if Paratroopa can get back a little bit of time there.
This is very similar pace for Shadow, because I think he was right around that 6-minute threshold when he finished Raphael again. So a little bit of deja vu here. Shadow's definitely got to focus a little bit more here at the end, because he definitely was dropping chains on his Bowser and probably ended up for that fight being a little bit longer. And look at this, he's starting off with a very good chain here at the beginning on Navel.
Yeah, this is looking good for him so far. He needs to look out with that left pillar, but he should downstack now, and all should be fine.
Alright, pulling another 3 chain. Smart not connecting it to the garbage, so it'll fall immediately to put more pressure on Navel here, which is much needed as he lowers 2 lines there. But the second tier is there. Nothing's going to fall in place, so he had to scroll really quickly, and he doesn't have any time.
That was a very clean play from Shadow right there. Meanwhile, Paratroopa's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, this could possibly be a little bit of a key moment in this match. Paratroopa does send more. Not topped off once again, but Piranha's not going to have any clears immediately. Paratroopa smartly drops off that next garbage pretty quickly, so avoids a potential scare there. Cleans up for the 44-second. Alright, Shadow with his follow-up. Now this is going to be a pretty good chain because he didn't really get anything too big started at the beginning here. It's going to drop while Kamek is clearing. That pillar's going to be able to be downstacked, and there's going to be a couple lines at the top, so he's got to find something here or raise up his stack to continue to find more pressure. But Paratroopa looking good. We got 2 separated pillars on his stack. What's this follow-up? Is it going to be enough? Oh, 1 line short. If he was able to do another combo, that could have led to a really quick kill, and because of that, Shadow cleaning it up at 47 seconds.
I was not sure if that would have killed, though. Seemed like Kamek had enough stop time whatsoever.
It was close because I know he had to scroll all the way back to the left, and there were like a couple moments because the first couple garbage blocks. It is definitely hard to tell. Maybe Kamek still could have survived, but not going to survive that. 46 seconds down. Again, this is basically just like last time. I'd say Shadow has a slightly bigger lead, and he's pulling off a big chain here at the start, so this is good for Shadow. But what's Bowser going to do with all these panels that he just raised? Sometimes it can be good for him, sometimes bad. He's got to lower his stack once again. And if he continues to find chains, this is where Paratroopa can come back. Alright, so he's still finding clears. Paratroopa sent a decent amount himself. Keep an eye on both. Any Bowser could die here. Oh! Bowser and Shadows doesn't have anything, and he's chaining up Paratroopas. He's gonna have the clear. Yeah. This is gonna buy time. If Bowser somehow makes a mistake on Paratroopas, Paratroopa could steal this race once again. But he has the reds. No. I think this is it for Shadow unless 3rd tier. Nope.
No. He was out of stop time there. But that horizontal clear. Oh my god. They should take that out of the game. It's just oh my god.
If Paratroopa somehow got the kill because of that, that would have been so heartbreaking at the end. But Shadow ends up taking it, ties it back up. They basically just swapped times because I think Paratroopa had a low 10-minute time the first race and Shadow was a high 10-minute, and now it's vice versa for this one. So these guys looking pretty consistent right now.
I think at both matches, it was only like a 20-second difference. Only in the first match, it was in favor of Paratroopa, and the second one in favor of Shadow.
So, oh boy, this has got to go to Game 5. I can already see it. These guys not only are going back and forth in the race counts, they went back and forth like that entire race as well, as we saw like the stage differentials. It was like Shadow getting a better time than Paratroopa, man. Pretty nuts. Alrighty here. So, as we're getting ready for Game 3 here, man. It's hard to say my perspective changed too much because I did think this was going to go to a Game 5 beforehand, just by the way both of them were playing, but What have you liked in both of their gameplays so far, Wiki, that's like kind of propelled them to a victory apiece?
Yeah, they're both just consistent so far. And not really anything else I can say. It's clean, sometimes dropping like a little bit early, the chains, but other than that, they both play fine.
I think the drops are definitely, yeah, that's what's caused like the victory for one another. And as you saw, Shadow dropping a little bit more in game 1 and then Paratroopa in game 2. Paratroopa actually used to have a much more similar style to Shadow, being more chain heavy, and which Paratroopa still focuses a little bit more on chains. But I think due to, a lot of his analysis that he's done preparing for this main bracket, I think he has been trying to implement a lot more combos. So I think that could be possibly his worst enemy in the end there, because maybe he's not too consistent with it yet, so maybe doing a little bit more drops. You gotta watch that as this match progresses, because if Paratroopa is on his game, that will definitely give him an advantage, because that less shake time coming in, it's just going to be good for him overall. But here we go. Yeah, game 3.
Off to game 3.
Lakitu's been pretty friendly so far in this series. Let's see if that trend continues here, though. Paratroopa a little bit short on this chain. Shadow's going in, though. We got that 7 chain. Is it going to be enough, though? Because, look, Lakitu could maybe lower. Yep, barely got to it. So Shadow finding the follow-up with that chain. It's going to come a little bit after Paratroopa's kill. It's been a very, very close Lakitu battle here at the beginning of each race, which doesn't really determine much. Shadow's kind of had the better of the early game in all of the races so far. And I think maybe that's because of the chain strats paying off a little bit there, being more consistent, and opponents are a little bit slower, so they can't really abuse the shake time on their screen. Though there's definitely instances where it can occur.
Shadow not having any troubles with that bumpy, beating it in 17 seconds. Paratroopa struggling a little bit more, but 26 seconds is not bad. And of course, we're gonna see Paratroopa pick Bumpty once again. Most likely. No! Alright, that's an interesting change.
Maybe the Bumpty cut it for him in the first race, but he's like, you know what? I gotta go with Yoshi and save those few frames.
Oh, he could also think, especially since the races have been really close, that maybe the few seconds for picking Bumpty might be his downfall in maybe the next couple of races.
Yeah, for sure. Just like the littlest of details in this game can change everything.
Exactly.
But
now they're both neck and neck. Oh.
Yeah, we got sync timers once again. Even like Shadow's, both of his timers are slightly ahead of Paratroopa, so they could be frame for frame at this point. Yeah. Still the beginning of the run. There's not going to be too many huge turning points right now. It's kind of just getting those consistent sub 30s. Of course, a big troll at the beginning can mean a little, but the cave, as always, is the big swinging point of the run. Alright, Shadow going for that stack raise and sets up. He always makes this well at the bottom, so it's like pretty easy for him to find what he wants to do at the bottom there. Shadow with a very modest chain at the beginning. Gonna follow it up with one slightly smaller, and Paratroopa is basically the same there too, just in reverse order. So that shake going to be canceled out eventually when both of them fall below that top of the screen? It just depends whose follow-up's better. Shadow's currently at the front, and Paratroopa is going to get trolled just a little bit longer by this clear.
I think for 3 or maybe 4 stages in a row, all the stages just ended with only 3 seconds difference.
Oh man, that's pretty nuts to see at the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's just been this like kind of similar gameplay from both of them. I would say Paratroopa a little bit more aggressive and raises a stack more. But if he doesn't find the combos he needs, he kind of just resorts to the same thing that Shadow does and just go for a bigger chain, you know? Top off your opponent at the end of the day. And we're looking for possibly a similar fight here too, as Shadow was a little short and so is Paratroopa. And if they're able to get these follow-ups quickly enough, 3 chain on Shadow's side, looks like some combo spam on Paratroopa's. We got the 29-second from Paratroopa, and probably the kill here from Shadow. The shake time gonna extend it out. Oh, there's the clear.
Man. That panel clear just helped out Blark really badly there. And because he was greedy, Blark finds his downfall right there.
Yeah, for sure. So now, Paratroopa back in the lead. We haven't seen him have a lead since a little bit midway through the last race, so it looks like he has picked up the steam just a little bit here, because like we mentioned before, Shadow's basically outclassed him in this first 8 stages. But Shadow a little bit slower paced than what we've seen in the first 2 as well. Paratroopa looking to meet around that 6-minute quota that we've been seeing. But Shadow gonna take it right back. Very nice 23-second kill on Lunchfish.
Taking it back. It's really back and forth again.
I have to go back and eventually just count the amount of lead swaps in some of these matches and see which one had the most, because so far this race could be a contender and we still have at least 1 more after this, if not 2 more. Yeah, here we go. Shadow finishing pretty good distance ahead of Paratroopa here. Raphael's going to continue to find some clears, but it looks like he might finish this just a little bit above 6 minutes. But there's a chain falling in place. The downstack 1 line short, or else that surely would have been the kill there.
But that's the 4th kill regardless. Luckily for Shadow.
Alright, yeah, so his first 8 have been getting like a little bit worse. Not by much, but he has been picking up the caves each time, so it's not going to hurt him too much. Paratroopa, he's definitely had a better first 8 stages now. He's not going to be in such a big deficit here going into Hookbill, so basically tied still. One of the most even matches I've witnessed for sure, so far by a lot. Initial chain, not too much on Shadow's in there. He's going to get a lot of combo garbage sent on top. This could be enough to top off.
That might actually be a 4th kill. If that was enough.
The 1 line, but is he going to get to the yellows? Alright, not enough time anyways. He would only save like 2 seconds if he sent 1 more line. So not too big of a deal there for Shadow. 32 seconds, very nice time. But is Paratroopa going to get the kill? Yes, he will. 28 seconds.
Paratroopa crawling up bit by bit.
We've seen Shadow have that consistent 1-stage lead until late in the cave when he lost it in game 1. But it looks like Paratroopa's trying to clean up a little bit more of his game at the beginning of the cave here. Though, I mean, it was a little bit different because I think Paratroopa had the lead going into Kamek during race 1, so I don't know. It's been very up for grabs this whole time.
It's back and forth. That's the only way to put it. Oh, 20-second naval on Paratroopa, taking the lead back. Ooh.
Very good kill there. Shadow with the good combo follow-up. Man, that was actually very well played by Shadow. There was like nothing he could do there though, because Piranha was just on a mission.
Naval has no stop time whatsoever. No, it immediately dies.
Yeah, Shadow played that really well. That follow-up was super good. Just maybe not the best pressure sent at the beginning, but it's not going to cost him too much time. He's still on very similar pace of the other runs here. But Paratroopa in a good spot now. He has about 20 seconds on Shadow, so a little bit of time to work with here on potential trolls with Kamek. He's going to top him off right now, but a chain's going to fall in place with those purples.
And we know Kamek keeps on chaining.
Potential force kill here. The greens are going to be lined up. The yellows are one spot away. Is there enough shake? Oh, the chain garbage block at the very top of the screen induced it. And look at that, the two chain falling in place. Oh, man. Super unfortunate there on Paratroopa's end. Shadow has a chance to take the lead, and that will happen.
He does it. And once again, a chain will fall into place for Kamek. On Paratroopa's side. Oh, this Kamek is not cooperating at all.
So leads have been very inconsistent in this race, but one thing that has happened during all three races, Shadow has had the lead going into Bowser. He closed it out last race, couldn't do it in the first race. What's going to happen this time? We have another Bowser v. Bowser, everybody. Seven chain coming out for Shadow. Good start. Bowser's going to be topped off since he raised his panels all the way to the top, but you got to think stop time, or shake time rather, is going to be a big factor here. Paratroopa going to be doing about the same. Bowser raised his stack and has a big garbage block to induce shake time. So I guess it's whichever Bowser just kind of calls it quits here at the end. Clear there on Shadow's Bowser. Chain falling into place. He's going to have a chance to get that right pillar down. Not immediately dead. Finding clears.
Yeah, wow.
Paratroopa's Bowser finding chains as well. Going to have maybe those yellows, but he might downstack and this could be a bad spot. That's a force kill.
It's force kill. Oh, wow. Once again, it comes down to the Bowser and what? Oh, wow.
And guess what? I mean, not quite a low 10-minute time, but still in the 10-minute range. A force kill now happening on Shadows. These guys have finished in the 10-minute range. All three races so far. These guys are on par with each other. Like stage for stage the whole time.
All of their times have been between 10 and 11 minutes. And it's just back and forth who wins.
Yeah, it's very crazy. I've seen like a lot of races kind of get pretty close at the end, but I've never seen this many Bowsers like within 20 seconds of each other starting. And we
finishing as well.
Yeah, it's nuts. That was our closest one by far, because we didn't see Shadow maintain that one stage lead he was kind of known for in the first couple races. And yeah, several lead swaps. And both players, it's just been a few drops here and there. That's only determined the victories. And
I think in the last race, like the cave was just a whole lead swap over and over again. I mean, I believe Shadow was in the lead going into Huckbill, then Paratroopa was in the lead going into Naval, then Shadow was back in the lead again at Kamek. No, I said that wrong. Shadow was in the lead, leaving Kamek. And then Paratroopa eventually pulled it back.
Mm-hmm.
It has just been back and forth.
Well, now we got some real stakes on the line right now. Shadow has no more games to mess around with. He has to win the next two to stay in this tournament. Meanwhile, Paratroopa still a little bit of wiggle room, but you got to think he wants to win this race right now. But by how this has been, everyone's been swapping stages. Everyone's been swapping wins, man. I got to think Shadow's going to bounce back and extend this to a Game 5.
Oh, another game. I don't know if I can handle that.
Wow, the 11 combo coming out from Paratroopa there at the beginning. That's going to be pretty good for him. It'll allow him to drop it a 5-chain. And look, Lakitu hasn't done anything. This could be a quick kill. But Shadow, good setup on his screen too. Both Lakitus not really doing much with their panels. But as soon as I say that, Paratroopa's kind of was at the end, but still cleaning up for 26. It's just so lovely when you see combos fall into place like that. I've seen a couple 13s like that as well. That'll also be an interesting stat to see who got the biggest combo throughout the tournament.
17 seconds on Shadow's side for Bumpty, and 20 seconds on Paratroopa. Once again, 3-second difference.
Very similarly, we see Shadow off to that early lead right now. He has a slight better grasp on these earlier opponents. I think it's maybe because, like, they both drop chains from time to time, but I think Shadow's a little bit quicker on the follow-ups. It's hard to say. It's just been such an even match. It's hard to, like, point out what each player can kind of do better than one another. But, yeah, here comes Paratroopa bouncing right back. 18 seconds. Very nice pressure sent there at the end. And Poochie was just caught with that middle pillar.
Yeah, Poochie getting greedy, wanted to get the 5 combo working there, but he was too slow.
Paratroopa trying to extend that chain, and that's where those small drops go. Because these guys, I have noticed, are being a little bit quicker on setting off their chains. But sometimes that can hinder them in the end if they don't have that immediate clear. Oh, and look at this.
Look at the synced clear, though.
Oh my, this is exactly the same on stream right now. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Paratroopa gonna get a little bit of mashing bonus points, though. He pulls off to those couple frame leads, man. That's gonna make the difference in the end.
Well, it could be in this particular case.
It really could. You never know, man. I don't know if we've had a race finish inside 5 seconds yet, but it's never too late for that to happen.
I don't know if that actually happens. It's a good one. I know matches have been close, but 5 seconds? Ooh.
Yeah, most of these guys have been hitting that sub 30-second quota, if not even going around that 20-second to sub 20 range as well. Paratroopa now keeping a majority of the lead throughout the beginning of this race, but it's been very slim. And look, he's coming out with a pretty good starter here. Gets that 7 chain. Hopefully he's going to drop it now because he had a lot of good combo follow-up. This should be good to top off Blark for a while. But Shadow, look, he comes out with the 7 as well. Dude, these guys just know each other right now. I feel like we're watching the same person.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And yeah, there's the follow-up from Shadow, dude. Very similar times there at the end.
I think the only way we can distinguish them is just by the fact that Paratroopa plays with Bumpty again.
I mean, it's eventually going to have to end due to a tiebreaker round, but you gotta think if you're doing, like, let's say tennis format and it's a win by 2, you could put these guys race for race and they'll just keep trading. Because that's just been the pattern so far.
It will just keep on going forever and ever and ever. Ooh, Shadowy, that looks a little bit scary.
Yeah, he's got to get that pillar down.
He's going to.
Wiki going to finish it off around the 30-second mark. Is Shadow going to match that time? A little bit slower, 38 seconds. Oh, that little bit of rising from the panels there, since Shadow is 1 line short, gives Lunchfish the opportunity to survive more. And look, he's making some chains now. Shadow still got to find a bigger follow-up, but this should do it once the garbage is done clearing.
Lungfish once again shows what kind of a troll he can be.
For sure. Shadow finds himself with a pretty decent deficit right now, so if Shadow wants to prove my words on saying this could go back and forth. He's got to make it happen with this game right now. Still plenty of time, obviously. They're pretty much tied at this point. Just Paratroopa with that 30-second advantage, but with the 37-second on Raphael there. Shadow has an opportunity to come back. He's going to drop his chain, though. Raphael had a low amount of panels. Unless a follow-up's here, which it is not, Raphael is going to be able to survive. Because, look, all those 4 combos just stacking up. That's not really going to do much for your opponent since they drop side by side.
No, and on top of that, I think this is the fastest game for Paratroopa so far, pulling off his sub-6 in the cave. I think he hasn't done that before this match.
Yeah, that is correct. Paratroopa's only been improving his early game, though. Shadow, I think, had a slightly quicker stage 8 than the last race, so trying to keep consistent with the first 8, but he's definitely got to pull out everything here in the cave, man. He's got to be on point with his pressure or even play a little bit more aggressive to try to get those cheese kills. We'll have to wait and see, but Paratroopa so far, this could be a big struggle. Look at all the panels Hookbill has, and look, he's just dropping light chains everywhere.
Whoa!
And yeah, this is the cave. We haven't seen it really troll too much in this set of races, but 56 seconds. This is a good opportunity for Shadow, who might have these separated pillars. I'm trying to see. I don't see a chain dropping, I don't think. Is this going to be a kill? There it is.
Yes, it is. 26 seconds, pulling it back.
And just like
Once
that,
again.
pretty much even. Shadow just coming at a little bit of deficit going into Naval. So let's see who can be on point with their chains right now. Paratroopa, 3 chain, 4 chain. He's going to see the blues as well. Oh, it drops early, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because I don't know if he would have continued the chain after that. 6 combo going to give less shake at the end here, and he's finding a little bit of a follow-up, but is this going to be enough if Naval has time to downstack? That's the real question. Shadow, meanwhile, he actually sent a lot of combos at the top there. But Naval finds a clear on his screen as well. Second tier on Paratroopa's side just keeps delaying this. Second tier on Shadow's side.
For Shadow. Oh, and wow, Naval just finding the free chains there.
Dude, it's the same matches just with different color blocks, man, I swear.
Oh man.
Oh, but
meanwhile, Shadow just pulling ahead.
yeah, this is first lead since a couple of the early stages at the beginning of this race, so this is crucial for Shadow as Naval's given Paratroopa a lot of trouble here, but will be topped off, so the lead's not going to be too much. If Shadow can maintain this consistency, possibly we'll see a game 5 here. 5 chain's a good way to start, and he still has plenty of panels to do more aggression here. Drops early on Kamek, and that's going to be a 15
seconds!
Oh, Shadow, super smart on cutting it off, and all those 4 combos actually worked out for him in the end. Kamek going down a very quick time. We might see the 10-minute consistency broken here if Shadow can get a good Bowser. Meanwhile, it looks like Paratroopa's going to have a little bit of trouble here on Kamek. All this lag on the screen, and chains are just falling into place right now. Shadow drops the 5 chain on Bowser. Not going to be enough immediately, but he's got plenty of time to try to find this follow-up. Oh, a little scary there with the noodles from Bowser with that 4 combo. But he's still in a good spot because Paratroopa's still trying to find this kill on Kamek. You got to think, unless the blues are saved here, this is probably a kill on Kamek. Is he topped off? No, and he's going to have those 3. Meanwhile, potential force kill on Shadows, and that's going to do it.
It's a force kill. Oh, wow.
So, for once, the patterns seem to keep broken as we talk about them. Both players have entered Bowser at the same time, but Shadow having that very quick ending. Also breaking the 10-minute streak. And, we're going to a game 5 now, Wiki.
Yeah. My heart, it's just...
Shadow,
yeah, it's...
oh man, it's hard to say. This has been, well, it was in Paratroopa's favor the whole time, but this cave has definitely given him a lot of troubles, and Shadow kind of just breezed by the cave. Paratroopa is going to need to find an answer in the end there, because, man, that just looked very clean for Shadow. I'd say he'd have good momentum on this point, by this point of the race.
He does, but then again, like, the wins went back and forth as well.
That's true.
As the whole match has been, so... and it's just... I said before that this was, at least for early game, the fastest Paratroopa pulled off, because he entered the cave at sub 6, which was the first time this match, and look how that didn't work out at all for him.
Yeah, the cave, it's like every single stage in the cave for him has been, I'm pretty sure, over 30 or even 40 seconds at that point. I had to go back and look, but yeah, 6 minutes, and now we're about 11 and a half in, and he almost could have potentially died there, but he manages to downstack a little bit. He should be in a safe spot for now. I don't think Bowser's going to find too many more large chains, and he's pretty much topped off for a while. Let's see. No. Oh, the yellow's falling into place, though.
And then the reds as well.
So buying Bowser just a little bit more time here at the end. But you got to think he's only got these blues and greens. The yellow's at the right. He actually made those switches. It actually buys him some time. That's a very rare pattern to see, but sometimes he will do that because he saw another clear on his screen. Sometimes he'll just quit immediately, but other times he'll just go for it like you just saw. So yeah, this is most likely a cave that Paratroopa will want to forget. But like we mentioned, he had that game to play with, and it has been back and forth. So both of these guys know they can win this match. They're going to throw everything here, but they're going to be nervous as hell as well. Game 5, dude, this is... I'm calling it. It's going to be determined. It's going to be our closest race. It's going to be within 5 seconds. That's what I'm thinking right now.
5 seconds? Oh, don't do this to me, man.
Yeah, but yeah, we see some fans for a couple people in the chat. It's good to see. Definitely root on one of your favorite players. And for any others lurking, man, if you've been enjoying this, we're just glad you tuned in. And we've had a lot of great matches like this. So
yeah,
keep staying around for this Game 5. Obviously, if you've invested this much, you're definitely not going to tune out afterward. And we'll let you know at the conclusion of this how you guys can get... catch more action like this or get a little bit more involved, man.
It's ridiculous how much Game 5s we have seen. At this point, like, at least in the losers bracket, this is the 3rd match in the losers bracket, and this is the 3rd match going to a 5th game.
That is true. There's a potential. We still have yet for Lightnings and Darkwings. Theirs is going to be a late match played this coming week, but there's a potential for all of our losers bracket top 12 matches to go to Game 5. Pretty crazy.
I can't handle the pressure. I can handle this. It's just too much.
Oh yeah, I did not see that match, Aries. If you'd like to fill me in on what the time differential was there, I'd like to know. Unfortunately, couldn't catch any of the action earlier on this channel as we've had a lot of races, but I think I'll be happy with this one. We got Game 5 going right now. Winner taking all, loser going home. So far, I think you can see the nerves getting to both players already.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we've seen, for the most part, sub 30 Lakitus, but both struggling to find that immediate top off at the beginning. Shadow goes for a bigger chain to secure it. And look at this, 34 and 35.
I really didn't want to say it, but it is shown that they're nervous. You can see it just by how they play.
And that just makes it so much better because you know these guys are putting their hearts into it right now. If you do get nervous this late on, it just shows you how much you actually want to win this. right. Paratroopa with a good starter. Shadow as well. He's going to want to up Paratroopa a little bit there. Nice 6 chain.
Just a few seconds apart, though. And Paratroopa going for bumpy strats again. I mean, it has worked out 50% of the time.
Oh, but man, it's... What if they just go screen for screen this entire match, too? That'd be nuts. It's looking like it's a potential, though Froggy does... Or Froggy, jumping a little bit ahead there. Poochie does not see the clear, but, I mean, 2 seconds, that's basically still even there. Yeah, we're jumping a couple stages ahead, man. Though I would say I'd be pretty impressed if someone was playing Froggy during stage 3, man. That would be some new tech I need to get my hands on.
That would be the most insane strat that has been found in years, I guess. Paratroopa with a nice 7 chain.
Ooh.
Topping off Wiggler.
That was a super good play by him, and that cursor being at the very bottom and that tall right pillar. Not enough time for Wiggler to react there, so breaking this like close 5-second bond that's been happening these first 4 stages. Paratroopa, even though it's a bigger lead, still not going to mean nothing because look, it's still only 10 seconds right now.
Once again, a nice big chain, but not big enough. Ooh, and Wiggler. Why am I talking about Wiggler now? Froggy almost screwed up there. No, this gets to me, okay?
Hey, trust me, I know. At least you only screwed up by 1 stage, man. I jumped in the future by 2 stages. Dude, you think the players are nervous, dude? Me and Wiki, we've seen a lot this weekend, man. This has been one of the most explosive weekends for sure. Not to mention, Wiki, you were actually part of those nerves there, so I can't even imagine.
I know, I'm still not completely cured from that.
Oh, man, it's been a rough Froggy. For Shadow, though, just finally got him topped off now, but Froggy's still finding clears. He has a lot of panels to maybe where he can buffer a bunch of clears over and over. But Paratroopa getting past Blarg in 30 seconds, this is kind of one of the biggest leads we've seen early on. Getting close to potentially that 1.5 stage threshold. And that was not 1 minute plus time Shadow could afford right now. But, like we mentioned, it's probably the nerves just coming into play right now. But, these tiny
like
mistakes.
Paratroopa...
Oh, God.
Yeah, I wanted to say, it seems like Paratroopa shaked off his nerves.
It's just those, like... I hate that always in your matches. You can go back and just see these small errors that can just mean so much in the end. In which case, for Shadow, that was kind of a big error. Like, 1 minute plus on a very early stage, that can hurt a lot of your drive. And even with Paratroopa being stuck 39 seconds there, Shadow is just now starting lunge fish, so that's still a pretty good buffer for Paratroopa to continue to pull ahead. But as we've seen with how this match has been going, I bet Shadow will make this comeback and we'll see a very nice close Bowser at the end. But yeah, Paratroopa, he, like you mentioned, Wiki, it looks like he's figured out something right now. 20 seconds here on Raphael, a little bit slower than that last pace of the other race, but He has been playing good here at the end. Shadow cleans it up at 39 seconds, but full stage lead for Paratroopa here. He is in the driver's seat. He's only got the cave left, man. Shadow definitely has been on the better receiving part of the faster cave times, and Paratroopa had one of his worst caves this last race, so if he's able to clean this up, man, it's looking good for him to continue in this bracket. 7 chain will help for sure, and look, Hookbill's got a lot of panels at the top. Shadow may be looking for a quick kill here on Raphael, but he used up so much of his panels, he's going to go into stack lowering mode. This is not good for Shadow as Paratroopa finishes at 23 seconds.
Paratroopa just nailing everything he does right now.
Oh, man.
This looks bad for Shadow.
Yeah, this is one of the most rough spots I've seen in the entirety of this race. This could be the potential of an entire 2-stage lead right now. As Shadow, he got the 6 chain he needs now. Raphael should be topped off. I don't know, though. The chain buying him time to lower his stack. He's got that little combo garbage at the top. Will it be enough? Next follow-up comes down. Yellow's still coming into play, though.
Paratroopa now going for safety, getting that 8 chain there. Making sure Naval is topped off for a while.
Oh, Shadow getting the kill, though. Better late than never. But 2-minute-plus stages. A 740 heading into the cave right now. This has been one of the roughest paces for him so far. Paratroopa gets this force kill. 2 stages left.
Jeez.
Basically a 2-stage lead, man. Shadow, it's been back and forth, but he needs a miracle at this point to win this race.
He needs a 2-minute Kamek, at least, at this point.
Shoutouts to SK Peter. Can we have his luck right now?
Well, not only, I think what actually gave me the 4-0 sweep in the main bracket, or in the group stage, was Monty having a 230 Kamek.
That's true, man. Kamek can do so much. It's not looking like it's going to be a big troll right now. Paratroopa had a very nice double lag chain, and I believe both of those chains were 5, so a good amount of pressure here on Kamek going to top him off, and he has very few panels. Probably another force kill.
That's a force kill. Oh,
one
he's not
spot.
topped off.
Oh, but he's going to elect to clear. Very lucky for Paratroopa there. Force kills on both sides. But Paratroopa still has this big lead. Shadow needs to complete 3 more stages while Paratroopa needs to complete 1. It's not impossible, but Bowser, you gotta do what you do best here and extend matches out.
The last chance for Shadow to take this is Bowser being Bowser. But only on Paratroopa's side, of course.
Alright, so far Paratroopa, those yellows going to disrupt his chain. He has a potential to maybe even die here, but he finds his chains to lower his pillars. Very smart by him, but he's still going to be lacking a little bit on pressure, as Bowser has the potential to do a big chain himself here, cause a little bit more lag, and just put Paratroopa in a low amount of panel situation himself. He's going to lower, he's going to be topped off. But this could be it right here, as Shadow's still looking for the kill on Naval, rather.
Naval.
Gets the kill. What's Bowser gonna do? The chain lined up. I didn't even notice that. 4th tier!
4th tier, what?
4th tier, dude. You saw it here. If Bowser's pulling 4th tier, could we see the trolls? 2nd tier gonna bail out. The blue's in position. He finds them. Oh, this could be it, dude. He still needs to troll more, though, because this is still a good lead for Paratroopa. All those were combo garbage blocks. They're all going to be clear. And, oh my... Shadow, can he get this kill on Kamek, though? Kamek's going to be doing chains as well right now. Look, what are you doing, Bowser, dude? This guy going in. Shadow, could he get the kill? The reds are going to be lined up. If Shadow has a good enough follow-up here, though, this could be a force kill on Kamek. We'll have to wait and see as this falls. As Paratroopa, what does he have on Bowser right now? I'm sure he has him topped off. 2nd tier 6 combo, dude. He's going for it, dude. And the chain. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. There's no way. He gets the clear once again. Oh my god.
What is going on?
This is a rough spot though. How's Bowser going to get out of this? But Shadow, the trolls come long enough. Well, this might be a force kill though. Nothing up top, and that's going to do it.
That's game. Oh
my god. Man, Bowser keeping it interesting in the end, but it was just too much of a deficit to come back. But what a series of races, dude. Oh my, if Shadow would have won this series somehow, dude, that would have been nuts. Oh, I can't believe it, but you gotta give props to Shadow. Obviously, he took 2 of the races in the series, and he never called it quits here at the end, dude. He gave it his all. He had some pretty good, cave times overall. Like, his cave was pretty good this race, too, and it looks like he could have a pretty decent Bowser to end here. The, stop time was not refreshed. I gotta think this is a kill.
I think this is a kill, yeah. Oh man, GG's to both runners, and now, can somebody take me to the hospital, please?
Heart pounding for the racers, us here in the commentator's booth, and everybody watching, man. But, man, I've been saying this a lot, like, this has been my favorite series, but it's truly been getting better and better. Like, the amount of times this series was just, like, within 10 seconds and all the lead swaps, these guys have shown us everything, and especially with that 2-minute Bowser allowing Shadow to try to make a comeback, dude. I can't say anything more about this series, man. It was just, pretty good. Not pretty good. It was amazing. Let's use some better words to describe this series. Like,
it's amazing. I can't even talk properly anymore. This has been a hell of a weekend. Just in general. I mean, this match was fantastic. But I've seen one match on Friday night, and I've been participating in one, and wow.
Yeah, I can't speak regularly before the match starts, so you screw me up entirely when you send me a close series like this.
It's just wow.
Yeah, that's really all you can say. Wow, just pretty much puts the definition on this. And like Wiki pointed out here at the beginning, all of our matches have gone to best of 5s, and add another one to that tally in losers bracket here, with one more potentially going to that. I think you got kicked out of the call, Wiki, because it switched our server that we were using. Now we're on Central Europe.
I have no idea what happened. It was not only the call. My whole Discord just rebooted for some reason.
Yeah, that's weird.
So I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, you're fine. We've been adding people into the call. We just added Shadow, who's going to be our first person up for the interview. And Shadow,
hello,
man. I feel for you. What a heartbreaker there at the end. We saw those couple 1-minute plus fights. I know you mentioned you weren't watching Paratroopa's feed.
Yeah.
You were on Naval when he started Bowser, and Bowser just kept trolling and trolling him. We saw you slowly making this comeback. So you were almost there, dude, just a little bit short. Tell us how you're feeling right now.
It's alright. I mean, I kind of told Forky, like, in private messages that I was kind of looking to, like, get eliminated from the tournament partially because I wound up getting a new job, and so I'm like way too busy to play nowadays, so at least I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I guess that's one bright side, but you should be very happy with your tournament run. Obviously, you got the second spot in your group, and that 3-0 was very deceiving in the Darkwing set. It was very competitive, and obviously this set, I've mentioned this all throughout the weekend, but this has been my favorite set by far, because this series has been absolutely insane.
Yeah. I definitely wasn't, like, I wanted to get eliminated, like I said, but I definitely wasn't, like, gonna do it without a fight.
A fight it was, man.
Fight there. Yeah.
Thanks.
But yeah, I'll come back to you in a little bit. We got the winner of the race joining us, Paratroopa. Welcome to, I guess, your mic debut on the Puzzle General stream.
Yeah, I guess it is.
But, dude, like I told Shadow, that was a hell of a series, man. It was back and forth, literally. You won all the odd number games, he won all the even number. I can't imagine if we implemented some kind of win by 2 rule set, we'd probably be just seeing this match go on forever. But in the terms of this race,
yeah, no kidding.
You came out on top.
Went to tennis rules.
That's exactly what Forky mentioned during the match.
But this is what I gotta ask you. That was a very consistent race 5, except Bowser, dude. What was going through your head when you just saw Bowser just keep going and going with these clears?
Oh, like, man, I was trying not to die. Like, I had some issues there. I was running low on stop time at a couple of points. And I was watching the stream, so I knew that I was fairly far ahead. So I was like, I'll just send like a fairly standard opener to Bowser, and even if it takes a minute, like, I'll definitely be okay, right? I don't know, he just filibustered that thing for forever. I don't know, it was ridiculous. I haven't seen a Bowser that bad in a while.
He was just finding some really odd clears. I think at one point when he cleared all the combo garbage you sent to him, he was pulling out like several lag chains with 7 combos falling into place. I'm like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, it was like the closest I've ever had to like fighting a human opponent in this game, I swear, because he was just sending like ridiculous amounts of chains and clearing all my stuff. I didn't really do anything wrong, it just didn't work for whatever reason.
For sure, man. But yeah, you came on top just barely there at the end, close Game 5 series. I want to congratulate you, dude, and
Thank you.
You got a tough opponent who's actually been commentating your match right now, Wired Wiki.
Yeah, I see that.
I'll actually ask you this question too, Wiki, but what do you guys think about your next match coming up here?
It's gonna be an interesting one. I mean, I've seen Paratroopa play now against Shadow. I believe I've seen him. I don't know if I commentated on that, but I've seen him play against cards. And if we can keep this level up, it's gonna be a hell of a fight once again.
Yeah, I mean, I just need to get, like, you know, around 10-minute time, and that may or may not win kind of a thing. Like, you know, I'll just play my game and hope it comes out good. I actually played better against cards, oddly enough. Like, I had a really good set against cards, and he's just faster. I hope I can bring that game back, because I was a little nervous in this set for some reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly,
I need to get back to being a stone cold killer, man.
I mean,
All right.
I want to ask you both this question, because at the beginning of Game 5, we could both see you struggling topping off Lakitu.
Yeah.
Was that the nerves?
I don't know what happened on Lakitu. I don't even remember. I don't think I was nervous. It just didn't work for whatever reason.
I'm not really sure if it was nerves. I think I was kind of in the mindset of like, all right, don't throw this, put up a fight, and then I wound up choking it. But
it was so. I mean, I don't want to use the word funny, but it was so interesting to see that both of you just struggled in the beginning, and it seems like Paratroopa rounded up a little bit faster than Shadow did in the last match.
Yeah, after Lakitu, I got way back on track, and I started clearing pretty fast. I was going into cave at like 6 minutes, which is basically my par time. If I get in there in 6 minutes, I'm okay.
Yeah, sub 6 cave time is usually what I aim for as well. Those are usually the runs that are pretty decent and at least good enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. And as we wrap this up, because I'm sure you guys want to relax after that pretty intense set, man. It's been a long day, but I'll start with you, Shadow, since this was your last match, dude. Do you feel like you achieved what you wanted with this tournament? Do you think you could have went a little bit further? Like, what was your overall, like, reflection of this tournament?
honestly, seeing how main bracket turned out, I'm impressed I actually got as far as I did, because I see a lot of really tough players, and I'm glad I could at least put up a little bit of a fight for both Darkwing and Paratroopa. Kind of sad I'm not going a little further, but like I said, I wasn't just going to throw it. I did want to at least fight my hardest, and I'm glad I could. I've definitely improved a lot since 2 years ago in Tournament 1.
Yeah, for sure. And you've been one of my favorite players to watch specifically at this tournament. Like, you were the definition of consistency, and I saw you pull out these really, really good times, which won a majority of your group stages. So yeah, thanks and congrats to you, Shadow. You did really well, and you should be happy with it, and of course you are. And Paratroopa, kind of the same thing to you. Obviously, you still have some more matches to go. Are you kind of satisfied? Because I know you've done a lot of improvements. Or are you going to try to keep making a run at this and keep going as far as you can?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm kind of playing on house money because I didn't really expect to be this far. But I don't know. I have a decent chance at being wiki. Like, not a 0% chance. So I might as well keep going, see if I can do it. You know, I started out like really rusty because I hadn't played Tetris Attack in like 2 years before this. Like no version of it, like not Puzzle League or anything like that. Just hadn't been playing the game. And once I got back into it, I really started like practicing and grinding for times. And so I feel like I could maybe go further. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. And we mentioned you've been doing like a lot of analytical gameplay as well. So you have the potential. I'm really looking forward to that match. As you guys can see with the bracket, all of our losers matches have gone to Game 5 so far. So I don't know, man. If you guys want to have more heart attacks, it's potential we could see another thriller there.
I mean, I still stay by what I say all the time. Game 5s are the best. Regardless of the heart attacks, I don't care. Game 5s are the best.
Couldn't agree more, man. But yeah, I think that's gonna about do it for us here. I hope everyone in chat enjoyed that as much as we did, man. It was just a thriller. But as you can see, we have that one match left to be scheduled. Our deadline's tonight, but we're gonna allow a little bit of an extension to see if we can get that match in. If not, we'll try not to delay any further of the bracket. But we'll see it. We'll keep you up to date on that. In the meantime, we don't have